Okay, so we've all heard about large language models, right? The AIs that have totally mastered language. But what if there was an AI that could master human behavior? An AI that understands not just the words we type, but all those little signals that show our focus or stress, even what really motivates us. Today, we're diving into this exact idea, the large behavioral model.
Look, the best way to really wrap your head around this isn't for me to just talk about it. We have to see it in action. So, we're going to follow the journey of a professional named Ria, who spent the last 90 days with her very own large behavioral model, or LBM. So, what do you actually get after 90 days of collecting all this data? It's not a spreadsheet, it's not a boring chart, it's something much, much cooler. It's a dynamic, living model of Ria herself, a digital twin. And this is it. This isn't just a collection of data points. It's a living map of Rhea's inner world. The LBM has actually learned her personal rhythms, when she's sharpest, what triggers her stress, even how what she eats affects her mood. It's basically a complete blueprint of her unique human operating system.
And that right there is the key. This isn't just biodata from a fitness watch. We're talking about her entire system, mind, body, emotions, and behavior, all mapped out from thousands and thousands of tiny signals she created over the last 3 months. So the big question is, how does the AI actually see these signals?
You're going to be surprised. It all happens in real time, from tiny actions that take just a few seconds.
It starts with something incredibly simple. Ria just looks into her phone's camera for a quick moment. That's it. That's the whole action. But from that one little glance, the LBM gets an instant read on her entire internal state. It sees she's tired because of a drop in deep sleep. It detects elevated cortisol, that's the stress hormone, and even knows her morning dopamine is a little low, which is going to affect her motivation. In just a few seconds, it gauges her cognitive sharpness and even calculates a 14% burnout risk for the day, all from a simple look.
And here's Rhea's own take on it. This just perfectly captures that feeling of being deeply understood without ever having to say a single word. Okay, let's look at another one. This time, all Rhea does is scroll through the app for about 10 seconds. That's it. Just think about how you scroll on your own phone. The LBM is analyzing that pattern, the rhythm, the pauses, the tiny movements of her finger. And from that simple data, it learns her cognitive style. It can see she's a visual learner, it can predict her typical energy dip at 4 p.m., and it can even pinpoint her absolute best time for learning, which is late in the evening. It just goes to show our movements can reveal as much as our words. So, the AI can observe her, it can understand her. But what can it actually do with all that information? Well, this is where it gets really, really interesting. This is where the LBM goes from being a passive analyst to an active, personalized agent. Ria asks a question that I think probably hits home for a lot of us. Why is it that you get that first burst of motivation for a new habit, and then it just seems to completely disappear after a few days? And just look at this answer. This is not some generic advice you'd find on the internet. The LBM connects her behavior directly to her unique body chemistry. It identifies a dopamine drop on day 3 because of what it calls routine fatigue. And then it gives her an actual solution, a custom 3-day microcycle built specifically for her motivation chemistry. The LBM can also be proactive. So in this case, it detects a combination of signals. Her blood sugar is dipping, she's a little dehydrated, a stress spike is coming, and before Ria even feels hungry or tired, it takes action. It looks at her stress forecast for the day, her recent diet trends, and it automatically builds a perfect meal cart to bring her body back into balance. All she has to do is tap to approve the order. All right, now for what might be the most mind-blowing part of this whole demonstration. We are about to see how the LBM rebuilds Ria's entire day, not based on her calendar, but based on her total state of being. Just look at all the different data points it's pulling together in real time. It's looking at her long-term patterns, her sleep quality from last night, her stress levels from the way she's typing, and even her body's own internal clock. It's creating this complete, holistic view of her capacity for the day. And this is the result, a day that is dynamically restructured just for her. Her deep, focused work gets moved into her biological peak focus time. All her calls are shifted to when her social energy is at its highest. It even adds in these little short breaks and a decompression buffer at the end to prevent burnout. It's all about putting the right task in the right moment based on her body, not just her calendar.
So, what's the actual impact of all this? Well, first, her cognitive efficiency for the day goes up by 32%. And because the schedule makes all those little decisions for her, it cuts down her decision fatigue by 38%. And most important of all, it lowers her risk of burnout for the day by a huge 41%. I mean, these aren't small changes. They're major improvements to her well-being.
Ria's reflection here really gets to the heart of the whole thing. This isn't just about getting more done. It's a fundamental shift where the technology adapts to the human instead of the other way around. It's self-understanding, but powered by AI.
So, what's the big picture here? Well, this whole demonstration really points towards a potential human data revolution, a future where AI shifts from just reacting to what we tell it to do to truly understanding what we need.
The ultimate goal is something like a human metadata hub, a single connected map of an individual. Imagine a system where your behavior, your biology, your finances, your skills, they're all understood in relation to each other, all working together to support your overall well-being. And we're going to end on this final, powerful thought from Ria. The real promise of this technology isn't just about optimization or being more productive. It's about something way more profound, a new tool for self-discovery. What would it actually be like to have a day that truly manages you? It's a fascinating question to think about.